Hello, precious treasures. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. Don't you find that one interesting? The more I see that one, the more I just have to laugh. That goes on many layers throughout my world right now. But one of the ones that I find the most interesting is when we show love to another person and maybe it's deflected. I witnessed this over this last week, and it made me process it. And because I can process things differently, I did indeed process it differently. Uh, Instead of feeling one way or another about the experience, it simply was. And because it simply was, I was able to process it. And I find it fascinating what what I saw. This is what my perspective, and of course that's the only thing I can give is my perspective. I'm just curious if anybody else winds up seeing this too. If I look back on how I used to hurt and someone would show me love, one, because no one can ever fill the love, the void. No thing, no shopping, no anything can really truly feel the void. Truly, like literally even the void, it can never be complete. How do I? So I think we know this in our DNA, right? We know this somehow. So instead of what you would think would happen if, I can see this person doesn't feel enough love, so I want to give them some of my love. And then it's deflected. And I think it's because in our subconscious, I do think. I believe fully this underlying level of what our DNA remembers, especially. That we deflect it because we know there is nothing that would ever complete us more than we already are. It would be very much like a molecule. If you love molecules like I do, when they have a balance of molecules and one unit available for another to attach, then they can, well, if we're complete or the molecule is complete on its own, they can gather, but they can't really, right? And we all are connected all at the same time. I must sound like a crazy person at this point. We are all connected at the same time with this web. So there is a connection there on a fiber, but not to the point of if I could make a cartoon of two stick people and they came together, started moving, and the love from the heart of one could touch another one and become one with, right? The thing is, then this person may always need this person to fill that love. When in fact, more what happens is that love that is shared kind of goes on the outside of the essence, the outside of the skin. It could never permeate inward. We can feel the hug. And yes, on an oxytocin level, when we hug, then we release these endorphins and dopamines. We choose to release these dopamines and serotonins. We choose to, from the other person hugging. It's not because the person's hugging that it's causing that to happen. We are choosing to. How many people have I hugged that did not allow that love in and didn't change their chemical structure at all? And why? Because they chose it to not. I'm not ready for that right now. And that's okay. At the same time, you have to kind of own that. Instead of blaming someone else for never filling you fully, how about knowing? Does it help at all to know nothing else will ever fill you? Which also That sounds actually sad, maybe. But to me, I can celebrate that now. I was led to believe that I needed an external thing to complete and fulfill. I was led to believe that. That didn't make it truth. So even though I love the love that my family will show me, I don't need the love to fill my own love. Does that make sense? To feel all that I am already there in love. I don't need anybody to fulfill it for me. That has really confused my loved ones. I have to admit, their vibration is still the same. They're still healing. They're still doing their ascension, if you will. They don't understand it. And if anything, I think it makes them so upset at some point that they actually keep pushing and pushing to see if I'll lose my center, which is what they've done my whole life anyways. But I no longer allow it at this point. At least that's my goal. They say, I want to say it was a Buddha saying that you want to see how enlightened you are, go have dinner at your family's on a holiday. Holidays just passed, I didn't. And if I could describe the holiday scene that was my family, it would be straight out of some soap opera for some people. And I stayed here with my family, which was, my immediate family, if you will. And that was a little odd as it was. And I just keep thinking I just need to be myself, focus to myself, stay in my center, and love myself just as much as I love everyone else, and leave it at that. The most fascinating thing about that is arguments can't happen if there's two people, right? Uh, because I don't take things personally the same way, nothing continues. Uh, it's almost as if it dissolves, whatever this energy, this negative energy that comes. It's almost as if it dissolves if I do it just right. It just dissipates into a billion little, and then just, as opposed to if I feed it back, it increases it and makes it worse, right? Anyways, just some things I've noticed. I'm not sure if it will help anyone. I'm not even sure when and if I'll even release this one. But I'm happy to get it out of me. And funny, I set to do a completely different thing. Interesting. Well, I might try to do that one too. But my little guy wants some time, so I need to find the balance. Precious treasures, I see art. I want you to see it too.